Hey guys, welcome to a new movie review. Today we're doing Dogma. This is a movie by Kevin Smith. They recently have been playing it in theaters. At this point, it might not be. I don't think it's in theaters anymore, but they were just recently, last week or so, played in theaters, and I got to go and see it. I've not seen this. Also, if you're an A-list member, this movie did cost. If you have an A-list member, I have an A-list member. I can usually go up to see 3 movies or something a week. I think it's now up to 4. Every week, you pay it's like a subscription thing. You pay it once a month, and you can go see up to 4 movies a week. It's really great. It's a big much. You get to see all the new movies. Now, when it comes to movies like this, sometimes especially movies, you do have to pay to go see these ones because these ones are not covered under A-list. So this one was, but I'm glad I did because it was a great movie. I finally get because I've not seen this movie. I've not seen a lot of Kevin Smith movies. Surprisingly enough, I was like, I like Kevin Smith. I like his movies, but I've just not seen a bunch of them. I've seen Clerks. I've seen Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. Jay and Silent Bob the reboot. I know they did an anime. I think Jay and Silent Bob one. I saw that, and I've seen this one. So I'm like, yeah, I want to say something else, but I think this is it. I've not seen a lot of those movies, but this one's really good. It might be one of my favorites. It's definitely really good. I enjoyed it. So let's jump into this movie. Spoiler warnings. I think we could give general thoughts, but I think we just established I really like this movie. So I always say general thoughts, and I'm like, I always usually say, like, oh, these are my general thoughts, and I'm like, but I already said, like, I really like this stuff. I think that covers this. So let's jump into this movie. Spoiler warnings ahead if you've not seen this movie. Older movie, but keep in mind, came out late 90s. Also, this movie had a lot of controversies, which obviously, if you don't know anything about this movie, a little religious stuff in it, so keep that in mind. It's just a movie, but it's interesting, and I like it. It's good. It's funny, definitely funny, has a funny moments in it. A lot of great actors in it. Obviously, we have Kevin Smith and Jason Mewes, who are always great as Jay and Silent Bob, who played interesting characters in this. I don't know who the main girl is. We also have Alan Rickman, or the guy who plays Professor Snape in this, where I'm like, I remember when I watched the movie and I saw him come up on screen, I'm like, oh shit, I didn't know you were in this movie. Chris Rock is also in this movie. We have Matt Damon, Ben Affleck. Like, it is a pretty stacked cast, if you ask me. And there's other people you've seen from Kevin Smith, from his movies, like from like Clerks and stuff, who are, characters from those some of his other works in this as well. So it's cool. So there's other people you would know from him. But yeah, there's other really kind of thoughts, kind of not, but really cool. So without further ado, let's jump into the movie and get to where we actually talk about what happens. So it starts off with obviously the 2 angels. I forget. One is called Loki, and the other one is, the one's called Loki, and I think that's played by Matt Damon. I forget who the other one is, what the other name of the other one is. It's like, I know it, but I can't remember off the top of my head. But he played by Ben Affleck, and they're angels, and they're stuck on Earth, and they have to figure out a way to get back to heaven. And so that's the thing, and they figure out a way to do it through this church thing, where they have this is a new church, and they're setting up this thing with Buddy Christ. This is where you get the Buddy Christ statue of like Jesus, and like, or whatever. Well, I'm like, I've seen that before, and like Kevin Smith is like the secret statue. I've seen that before, and now I'm like, oh no, that's from the Kevin Smith thing, and it's from this. So yeah, it makes sense, cool to know what that's from, because I've seen it before. Definitely in like Kevin Smith stuff, but I've like seen those to kind of get more idea where it's from. I'm like, cool. Also, George Collins in this movie as well. I forgot to mention he plays the priest character. I'm like, I just like that cat is almost an understatement with this movie, because it has like so many big names, and I'm like, I don't know how Kevin Smith was able to spell these big names, but he did, and it was a great movie. The movie goes off, and obviously the angels like figure out a way. They have to go for these gates once this thing happens. They can go for this gate at this church, and then they'll go and it happens to be in New Jersey, because it's Kevin Smith's movie, and they're like all connected or whatever. I think they're all part of the universe. I think they're all connected. But yeah, so it's like they go and they're going to heaven. Then we meet this new girl who's like the main girl we're following. And Alan Rickman visits him at night, and it's like, hey, you are going to be the one who has to stop these guys, and da-da-da. And Alan Rickman's character is great, and he's great. Great character, love him. I was surprised when I saw him. He was great, and he's telling her like, hey, you're gonna meet the 2 prophets, or the 2 guys who are gonna help you on your journey. I'm like, okay, I wonder who they're gonna be. And then we actually find out who they are. I'm like, oh, it's Jay and Silent Bob. I'm like, that's kind of funny. They're like the prophets, the guys who are gonna help him. Like, that's just fucking funny. It's like the 2 most, well, for the record, I think Silent Bob is not a bad choice. Jason Mewes is the one where I'm like, okay. Silent Bob, I'm like, for all his faults of them, like, Silent Bob is actually a person I'm like, okay, Silent Bob actually kind of works. But Jason Mewes is the one I'm like, okay, he feels more like him being the guy who's helping, or trying to help on the quest kind of thing. I'm like, it's weird. But yeah, but then they eventually, also there's these kids with these hockey things, hockey sticks, they're attacking them, attacks the girl, and Jay and Silent Bob saves them, and that's how he meets them and stuff, and talks about how I like how Alan Rickman talks about him, like, yeah, the one that won't stop, shut up about himself, like, yep, that is Jason Mewes, that's on Jay's character in the movie, for T, and about him wanting to do stuff to the girl, and like, talking about why that's actually doing stuff. He's obviously plays himself very well. Jay and Silent Bob are just great characters, and they have fun, and I like how Silent Bob doesn't talk about the movie. He talked maybe only once throughout the entire movie. He has one line throughout the entire movie. It's fun. They're fun characters, and they go out and he helps them. They team up and they are a part of this journey. Then they meet Chris Rock, who falls from the sky, and he's naked, and he falls from the sky, and then they meets him, and he helps her learn more about herself, talk about herself, and get on the right track. And the point was like, I don't believe in any of this shit, and all this stuff. And talked a lot about faith and who God is and all this stuff. And it does it in a way where like really well done, I think, for doing a very topic that some people, I can see why people would like don't like this movie. I had a problem with this movie because like they're changing what you believe or giving you questioning stuff, like questioning about God and some of the stuff in a way that I think is totally fine. But it's a fun movie. I like it. But in the end, we have to cut to, obviously they all get together and they go out to fight the angels and stuff. And eventually they go and they find out they have also got to figure out what God is, because he's the only stuff, and then we do find out who God is. He's trapped in the soul of somebody else, so eventually the main girl figures where he is and goes and gets to the help. Talk to you guys. Also, there's this other girl they meet in who is called Muse, who is like, oh, a Muse, and he's like, I can help people with their muse or their creatives, but I can't do it myself. So that's why he's working at a script coin company, because maybe that's, I don't know. He's working at a script point, but it's not funny. Also, there's a big shit monster that they have to fight, and Jay and Silent Bob beats it. I'm like, yeah, Silent Bob is kind of like secretly a badass. And also they have a fighter train and stuff. It's a fun movie. It's just fun. It's a campfest movie, and it's great. And then at the end they have to stop. Obviously they stop the angels and they God and everything. It's a fun movie. I like it. I can't think of anything else happens in it that really needs to start. You talk about. I think that covers for the most part, but also because it was like a special version of it. If you waited till after the credits, there was a little Q&A. Not like a Q&A with actually. I mean, it was a Q&A. It's a pre-recorded Q&A from another screening of Dogma where they did like a Q&A. One of the first screenings of this, they did like a Q&A. At the end, and they filmed it and they put it at the end of this. It was cool. You can see him asking questions and talking about stuff, and seeing Alan Rickman, the guy who plays Snape, talking about Jason Reeves was like one of the moments. I'm like, what the like, what, is he like bothering you? And he's like saying how he's like this is like the greatest person. Like, it's talking about Muse in a way. I'm like, okay, what? It's just the most. I was like, it's great. I love that a lot of the stuff in that was fun and I enjoyed it, and that was really great and it made me enjoy it more, and it's fun to hear him talking about it. He's one of the guys who's really good at talking about stuff and talking about stuff like that. It's fun. I enjoyed it. Really enjoyed it. So what you guys think of the Dogma? It's an older movie, but what do you guys think about it? Let me know in the comments down below. Tell me what movie you've been watching in the comments down below as well. You guys can always stay epic, but also we gotta get to a rating. This is getting a 9 for me. I love it. It's Kevin Smith. I like Kevin Smith, but also this feels like a me movie. I'm like, yeah, this has so much stuff in it. It's fun. It's great. I enjoy it. It's fun. So what do you guys think? Like I said, let me know in the comments down below. You guys can always stay epic. See you in the next video, guys. Bye.